Hi everyone, welcome to the Ask Bess show. And thank you for those who waited, had some delays on this end, but I'm glad to be here with you. I'm here every Saturday and Sunday at noon Eastern Time for the Ask Bess show. And this is a place where you can ask any questions, be it about job, career, network marketing, health, weight loss, relationships, communication, spiritual fulfillment, any of that. I am a holistic health practitioner, a body-mind therapist, and a coach, and also called the Shrink of MLM. I've been doing this for 30 years. And welcome, Lisa. Glad to see you. Thanks for popping on. So I've been helping people for decades now to clear out beliefs, negative beliefs and fears, so that they can be all that they can be. I especially love supporting women in network marketing. That is my niche of niches because I understand. And I'm going to be talking about a bit about that today. The topic today is It Happened to Me, and it's about health. If I would have put it, take care of yourself on the title, people probably wouldn't have related to that. So I'm going to tell a story about me, and maybe it can inspire some people. So first I'm going to invite people, but first, I have a little message. You matter. I hear you. I care. You're not alone. You're bigger than any problem that is before you. Every problem has a solution, and it's always within reach. And I can help. I can share with you my real conversations method to help you get from problem to solution in minutes. So I'll do that after we cover the topic today. And welcome. Ree, how are you today? So I'm going to invite some people here, and if you know anyone who can use this talk today, use this some tips about how to take care of yourself, how to value yourself and take good care of yourself, keeping a good life-work balance and all that, whether you're a mom or network marketer or whatever that you do, or if you're a man or a woman, all of that applies very much. Taking care of ourselves. Health is a very big priority with me. And if you know someone who can use some tips about health, love if you tag them, share into other Facebook groups, especially personal growth groups, health groups, that would fit today. So I appreciate each of you for being here. And health, that is a pretty big priority, right? Because I have talked before about business, about making money, about network marketing, and I've talked about relationships and communication, and I've talked some about health, but today I wanted to cover a little more about that by telling a story. And who am I? I'll finish inviting people here, and I just also wanted to share with you who I am. I'm a holistic health practitioner, body-mind therapist for 37 years, and help people to better work, relationships, and health are the three areas that I help people with. And gosh, what else? Neuromuscular therapist, inner child therapist, Reiki master, minister, mother, published author, speaker, spoken on radio and events, and so a whole list of good things that validate that I, and most important perhaps, is that I've done my own work over the many years. And a coach or therapist can only lead somebody as far as they have gone themselves, right? So be careful who that you follow, who that you ask to work with you. Make sure they've done their own work, because then they know the pitfalls and they can help you along too. Being a body-mind therapist, that changed my whole life when I discovered body-mind therapy and decided to become a therapist way over 30 years ago. Because body-mind therapy teaches that we can best change ourselves from the body more easily than we can from the mind. And the body, the subconscious, the mind, they're real intimately connected. You can tap into your subconscious from your emotions, from your dreams, and the messages that your body's giving you. Like body mind would say, I just want to welcome Monty. How are you? My goodness, what is happening in your world? I have to come to your Facebook group and see what's happening. That's one advantage of Facebook. Monty is a good friend from Austin, Texas, when I lived there for 6 years. And hello, Mel, welcome. And Mel Atwood is, well, first of all, Monty is a super network marketer. You guys got to follow him and check him out. And Mel Atwood is an expert at working with helping network marketing companies. So check him out. And if you know a company who can use his help with consulting, that's what he does. So welcome everybody. And okay, body-mind, just a word about body-mind. Body-mind theory says that if something shows up in your body, it's showing you something that's happening also in your life, in your psyche, in your emotions. It's a message from your emotions. And I have not found this to be wrong yet. One time I had a shoulder pain that was with me for about 2 weeks, and I was so busy I just didn't pay attention to it. But finally, one day, I was with my family at a restaurant. We had some time. We had a little, 20 minutes wait before dinner. I thought, I'm going to take a little walk, so a few minutes to myself and have a discussion with myself. And I said, okay, shoulder pain, what are you about? And it said it was mad because it was carrying so much of the burden. It needed to delegate some of the work the last 2 weeks. And I hadn't listened to it for 2 weeks. So I said, okay, I'm going to arrange to delegate some of the work. And within minutes, the pain went away. I'm not kidding, like within 10 minutes. So I was listening to a message from my body telling me that it needed something, just like a red light in a dashboard. We can listen to our body. Do we have a headache? Do we have a shoulder ache? Do we have a stomach ache? And stomach is about worry. Every single part of the body has a psychological correlation. That's why I love being a body-mind therapist. I can read my body like a waking dream symbol and help my clients to do that too. So we can uncover something that we might be needing emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, that we might not be aware of otherwise, but our body can cue us into that, especially emotionally, right? So that's a cool thing. Welcome, Thomas. How are you? Welcome, Fernando. Glad to see everybody. Hey, if you are here to learn, if you would like, I know it happened to me, is the title, it doesn't tell so much of it. This talks about health though. And if you would like to take a step in health, then please type in yes, because you're in the right place. And we'll get into that in just a moment here. So what happened to me it was about a year and a half ago that, well, a couple times in my life, but especially the latest one was about a year and a half ago. I was so dedicated to getting this work out to people as a coach to help network marketers and running the school that I co-teach with Jeffrey David Gamble, so committed to getting this out and letting people know about it, that I put that ahead of my health. Being a holistic health practitioner, I think I take care of myself, right? And I have to be a good role model for my clients and my students. And I thought that I was doing pretty good at that. You know, there's the 3 triads of health are structure and chemical and emotional. And the structure has to do with our body. Are we, keeping it in good alignment, in good shape, good exercise, and stretching and strengthening and aerobic, those 3 types of exercises. And I see a chiropractor, a very, very good one here. And Dr. Mark Shupman is who I recommend if y'all are in the Hayes area. He's worked with me very closely. We do a lot of stretches and anyway, good things. So I was taking care of my structure, right? And my the chemical was the nutritional. I've been eating good and raw foods, primal diet for 25 years. And it's been good for me. And it's not hard now because I'm so used to it. That junk food just doesn't even appeal to me anymore. So I'm a good role model for people in that way. It keeps me very, very healthy and good. And the emotions, of course. I'm an inner child therapist, and a coach and a personal growth coach. So I should have that down. But there was something about the mindset part that was eluding me. And that was that I sometimes have had in my life a tendency to put my work ahead of taking care of my sleep. Or even during that year, during some of my exercise and food went out the window too. I wasn't eating enough, actually. So during this year, I I thought, okay, I'm going to dedicate myself to my work and to marketing and letting people know about it. And somehow the energy will be there that I need. And I found ways to shortcuts to not sleep. I found that I could burn the candle at both ends. I felt kind of super. I felt kind of powerful. And I found that if I got tired at night and couldn't focus and concentrate anymore, just go exercise or eat a food that would wake me up, or just tune into a second wind, and I could keep going for hours, right? But then I'd still get up in the morning, or I'd wake up in the night with ideas and everything, and I'd get up in the morning and I couldn't wait to implement those. And in my work with people too, I also think about, and ideas come to me about how to best work with my clients and students. They're on my mind, and it comes through sometimes in the middle of the night. Cool ideas come through. I'll get up and write them down and all that. So I was enjoying this very much, and I thought I was outsmarting sleep and going with this this energy, until I realized that my heart was hurting. It kind of hurt, and it would sometimes beat fast. And that was a sign to me years ago when I know a practitioner who said, this was when I was raising my son as a single mom and working in the holistic field, going to school and working and all of that. And he said, you have burned out your adrenals. The adrenals are like a battery in the body. And he said, you have burned out your adrenals, and now you're pulling on your heart. Now, I remember my heart beating fast then too. I went and got EKGs and tested all this stuff, and they couldn't find anything. But I just knew that that wasn't right of me to do, to run my battery so low, run my physical battery. And a friend of mine, she goes, oh, you're like my father. He was a Scorpio too. He was real passionate, active Scorpio, and always doing stuff and all that. And she said he died of a heart attack. So I'm listening to these little messages from my body and from my friend who mentioned her father, from this guy who said, okay, you've used up your adrenals, now you're pulling on the heart. And I thought, that's not good. So this occurred to me again at the end of that year recently, that I was so intensely, passionately going for it, giving so much to my clients, students, in the marketing of it. And I said, okay, how can I heal this? How can I slow myself down? Because I felt like I was tapping into this energy that kept me going, and it overrode my sleep messages, my tired messages, to where I no longer found them. I could no longer feel the tired or the sleepy messages anymore. I had overridden them so long that they didn't bother to speak to me anymore. And I couldn't find my tiredness. I couldn't find a way to let down. I was going on this high energy that was probably pulling again on my heart. Probably originally it was adrenal energy, and then when it was the heart. And so I had to learn to put myself to bed, stop when I felt the first sign of tiredness, so that I could slide into sleep with that message from my body, and I could follow that call. And it began to come back slowly. But I had to be like a parent to myself and say, okay, it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, time to get ready for bed. Time to stop what you're doing, even if you're enjoying it, even if you are attached to finishing a project, even if there's somebody maybe waiting for it. They can wait. You can get up in the morning. You can go to sleep now and get up in the morning and finish the project. You don't have to be attached to completing it and getting it done. So I'm still working on that, but my health did come back. My heart did slow down. My sleep did come back. My messages came back, and I'm better now at listening to those rather than overriding them and just seeing how much I can get away with. And just to support that, sometimes articles come up in front of my attention on my browser, and I'll read them. But one of them was that successful people get 8 hours of sleep a night. I thought, I thought they didn't sleep at all. Entrepreneurs are famous for not sleeping. But this says no, successful people recharge themselves, and it serves them with their creative energy and their health and everything to get that sleep. They're sharper, they're more intuitive, they're more creative, they're more productive during the day when they get 8 hours of sleep. And I was getting about 7, in my life. I've usually gotten 7. So I have decided to get more. Hello, Mr. Jim. How are you? There's a number of things that we can do, though. I mentioned that the triad of health being the chemical, what we eat, and the structure, taking care of our body, and then the mindset, the emotional, taking care of our psychology, thinking positively, being around positive people. Marina Worry put out a post this morning that said, if something costs you your peace of mind, it's too expensive. And I'll say, if it costs me my sleep, I can't afford to worry about things. I do wake up in the night with ideas. I'll write them all down and think, okay, now they won't be forgotten in the morning. I got this big old to-do list, in front of me, but that gets it out of my brain, and then I can go back to sleep. And I have a few other of my own spiritual tricks to go back to sleep too. I'll sing the word Hugh, H-U, Hugh, and that often calms my mind and aligns me with spirit and helps me to go back to sleep too. So here's the ways that we can take care of ourselves, and one of them is nutrition. When I was recently in San Diego visiting my son, he handed me this book that he'd been reading called The Omnivore's Dilemma by Michael Pollan. And he goes, Mom, this is what you've been talking about for like 30 years or something. But it's hard to hear it from your mom, right? It's better to hear it from a book, from somebody else. But Michael Pollan in here talks about industrial food, how, the food nowadays, we think we've progressed coming off the farm and letting somebody else prepare our, grow and prepare our food for us, but it isn't in the right way. It isn't in our best interest. It's in the best interest of money. And so what the money system has done, and the greedy system has done, is grow a lot of corn, process it into sugar, corn flour, corn syrup, ethanol that's added to gasoline, and then they feed the corn to cows who get sick from it because they're really meant to eat grass and hay. And then the cows get sick from it, then they have to give them all sorts of medicine and antibiotics and all this stuff, which cows do not need when they're on the pasture. And then they sell this meat to us, which has the corn is grown, it's GMO or genetically modified corn, as a lot of research has shown, has caused a lot of mutations and cancer in rats. And it's sprayed with pesticides and herbicides to increase production, increase the yield. Then it's fed to the cows who are given this antibiotics, and then we eat all this stuff. But corn is in just about every single processed food. Did you know that your cola is 100% comes from corn? That sodas come from corn? And the sugar and the fried foods and the bad fats. I just have three rules for health, and that is, do not eat white flour, white sugar, or bad oils like fried foods. But that is in all of our industrialized foods and fast foods nowadays. And I was just reading that, about half of all kids eat fast foods every day. And it's resulted in 60-70% overweight, obesity in the country. And of course, a lot of illnesses, diabetes and other illnesses. So that's why actually I don't eat in restaurants, because that's all GMO and harmful foods. But I prepare my own food. It's a raw primal diet with meats, raw dairies, and vegetable juices. And usually take some food along with me if I eat out with friends. But not everybody, is up for doing that. But if we just are aware and we try to eliminate 3 things, white flour, white sugar, and bad oils, that will go a heck of a long way. Those are the only 3 rules I had for my son when he was growing up, and he never had a cold or flu. Believe it or not, he could play with sick kids, and he never had a cold or flu until he went to live with his dad, age 12, and he started having 2 colds a year. And he called me and say, well, what should I drink? And what you do is you mix orange juice and raw eggs in the blender, and it tastes good like an orange Julius, but it would help him to get over his cold or flu fast. So the health matters, the food matters. So now I've talked about the mindset. Hello, Aviva. How are you? Are you in Israel? Where are you watching from? And Jim Bailey says the art in the background has been looking great. You are what you eat, and we need to stop sugar altogether. That's for and glucose, scoring glucose. Oh, it's very, very bad. And yet we're selling this and feeding it to kids and everything. The art in the background, that's a painting I did a little bit a while back. Jim, and my other art that I have, I just like them as backgrounds because I like paintings full of light, and I like light around me. So that's the best background I have in my house to do the videos from. Thank you for enjoying it too. Okay, so other ways to take care of ourselves. I mentioned sleep. I mentioned exercise and stretching. I have to get away from my computer. I have to go for a walk every day outside, and I get to talk to the neighbors and everything. Even though my little dog isn't here to walk, I walk myself. It feels good. It feels good to get out. So we want to get exercise. We want to have some spiritual time every day. It can recharge our batteries inside. Some meditation, prayer, whatever is your way to have your spiritual time. We need friends. We need social. People that really connect with their families that say they have the better health than anybody. We need to get outside and get into the sun. About 10 or 15 minutes of sun a day on your body or limbs can really affect our mood and it makes all the endocrine glands and everything work real well too. Be nice to yourself. Talk to yourself. I posted one time, be nice to yourself. Talk nice to yourself because you are listening. Your own inner child, your own heart is listening and might believe you if you say, you can do this. You've got this. Life is good. Life is good. Or if you're focused on the negative, that can have an effect on our health too. So we can give up one unhealthy habit. Can't do all this stuff maybe, but like my niece is working on her health and she's saying, one thing at a time. What's what we can do? We can look at our life today and say, what's one unhealthy thing that I could give up today? And start with just one thing at a time. And when we master that, you can go on to another one. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. We can make sure we're drinking plenty of water, I'll say. I don't want to tell you what to do, but that's one thing we can do. There is a whole book on that, your body's many cries for water, and it's about the health problems that come up, and you go to a doctor, and they might try to solve them with drugs or surgery. Those are the two main things they're schooled in. Rarely are they schooled in nutrition. Rarely do they ask you how much water are you drinking or what kind of foods are you eating. We can make sure our thoughts are positive. I liken this to watching a TV channel. If I'm running negative stuff in my thoughts, it would be like watching a TV channel. I can just reach over and turn it and change it. Why don't I change to a positive channel? And why don't I read some personal growth books, audios, videos? We can fill ourselves up with these positive messages. I can write a gratitude journal. People get happier and healthier when they write down what they're grateful for. I can put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I did that recently while I was working on a project, and I noticed I really like it. So most of the time right now, my phone is on Do Not Disturb because I'm always working on something, and then I'll check the messages in between. Unless I'm expecting something or more urgent call, then I'll check it more oftenly, or I'll take off the Do Not Disturb. But I like that because otherwise my attention gets jerked too much and cut into, and it feels bad. So I like that doing that now. We can get massages. We can do good things for our body. Hydrotherapy is nice. Hot baths, hot soaks, with Epsom salts, with essential oils. What do you like to do that's good for yourself? What ways do you all listening? What ways do you like to take care of yourself? What good things do you do for your health? What are some ways that you love yourself? That you say to yourself, I love you. One lady, she likes to give herself cut flowers in the house. Or do things that we enjoy. Do things that are creative and that feed our creativity. Play with a child. hug your puppy. So thank you all for listening. I promised to share with you the 4-step, the real conversations method to get from problem to solution in minutes. But here's a real shortcut. Maybe you don't remember the 4 steps. A real shortcut is, hello, Kelly Rakowski. How are you? You guys follow Kelly. She is a person of wonderful heart, runs a foster home for dogs, and is a new grandma like me. Hello, Grandma. So the real conversations, and Jim put a link in there for taking care of ourselves. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, because I asked for tips. Thank you very much. Anybody else have a tip how to take care of yourself? Okay. My real conversations process leads you from problem to solution in minutes. It's a self-help coaching process that I love to teach people. But here's in a shortcut. Here's in a nutshell. Every problem is a sign of an unmet need. Meet that need and the problem literally goes away. The need might be physical, emotional, spiritual, one of those. But when you uncover, listen to yourself like I was describing before. Listen to your body, listen to your feelings, and at any given time you can say to yourself, what am I feeling? What am I needing today? That's very important. That's the real conversation secret. That's why I call it real conversations. It's with ourselves. Getting used to asking myself, what am I feeling? What am I needing? Very few people do that very few times in the day. But it can help us to take care of ourselves so you don't get into trouble like I did, like I described a little earlier. The science of being well. Thank you, Jim. So every problem is a sign of an unmet need. Sometimes I'm just grouchy and my need is sleep or water or to get outside in the sun or get some exercise. And it can be that simple. I don't have to do psychotherapy sometimes, or go any deeper than that. Hey, I'm tired. I want to recharge. I don't want to keep talking to people. I need some time for me. I need some spiritual time, whatever that is for me. So that's one way we listen to our need. Ask yourself at any given time, what am I feeling and what am I needing? Now, a lot of people don't have a clue. So I wrote a whole bunch of feelings out, and I wrote a whole bunch of needs out. Put them on a chart. So you could print this out, put it on your refrigerator. This chart I developed over years of studying feelings and needs. And so I posted them. So at any time, if you're wondering, what's the red light on my dashboard saying? What am I feeling? What am I needing? Having a hard time getting in touch with that. You can look on this chart. I'm offering it now for free as part of some tools called Real Conversations Tools. You can find this at the Facebook event Real Conversations class. The class is passed. You can still go there and get the free tools, and you can find out about future classes. In fact, every Tuesday night, I have a class where people that want to do this more in a group can get onto this class every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time for 1 hour. They can get on, and we do group coaching. You can bring a problem, be group coached there, or you can just learn from other people who are. So both of those information about both those things, the free chart and tools, and about the class, are at the Facebook event, Real Conversations class. And I'll post the link below as well. So we'd love to have you. Some people are saying about this class and the work that we do with the Real Conversations, the most important work that they've ever done. The most clear, the fastest, the easiest to break through blocks and get from problem to solution fast so that you cannot be stuck. Not be stuck. Whether it's stuck in your business or relationships or health or anything, there is a solution. And if anybody who wants more help, of course, you can private message me. I do private coaching. I especially love coaching network marketing women. That is my niche of niches. And I thank you all for being here. Every Saturday and Sunday at noon Eastern Time is the Ask Bess show. And meanwhile, you can ask me questions below or private message me, and I can anonymously answer your question on the live. So we will see you next Saturday at noon Eastern Time or Sunday. Love to have you. Let's keep the discussion going below about health, taking care of yourself, loving yourself, questions you have. Okay? Let's take good care of ourselves. We deserve it. We're worth it. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.